kind of soft opening, if you will. Thank you, Dr. Thomas. We'll get the names completed on our name tags. How you doing, Ms. Jackie?
1, 3,
Hey.
1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting
McDowell
edition of the Sarah Stevenson Tuesday Forum. My name is Winston Robinson. I appreciate that, Dr. Thomas. I am your facilitator today, along co-facilitators, Ms. Laura McClellan, Ms. Carlenia Ivory Canty, Ms. Jackie Edwards Walton, Ms. Natalie McElrath, who is our timekeeper, Ms. Mary Johnson, Mr. Steve Johnston, our website editor and archivist, Mr. Che Abdullah, Ms. Sarita Sherrill, our chaplain, and Mr. Gary Young, auxiliary. Our forum runs from 8:30 to 9:45 a.m., at which we will pause for announcements from the audience. Announcements can also be sent to Steve Johnston at sjohnston@tuesdayforumcharlotte.org. That is Johnston with a T. We always begin our forum with a prayer, and we will ask Ms. Jackie Edwards Walton to lead us today.
Dear Creator, thank you for this opportunity to pause. Thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. While we're pausing, please look at those in Western North Carolina, as well as those in the Florida State and Panhandle, as they look at confronting challenges that have not been seen before. But we know that the Creator has it all in the control. While we pause once again, thank you for the blessings, and we will do what we need to do to move forward. And thank you for this opportunity to gather together as a community, engaged in hope. Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much. Oh man, it's right. I got a prayer from a judge. I don't even go to the spam folder. That goes straight to God's inbox. Oh, the light. All right. Oh, really?
Now you can do that?
Okay. Pastor Judge, thank you so much, brother. All right, if we have anyone for the first time, please, we would love for you to announce and identify yourself and any affiliations.
Well, good morning. I'm Dr. Tanisha Hughes Frazier. I am the founder and executive director of Hughes with the Scholars, a federal TRIO program here in our community.
Thanks so much.
Good morning. My name is Joyce Lee Gallison. I have attended this meeting, but it's been many, many years, but I'm glad to be back here with you. I am a member of the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Association on the historical West Side, and I'm also Precinct Chair 55. And I'm working with Aisha Du on her candidacy to win a House seat. She is the representative-elect, but we are out here making sure the community knows who she is and what she's about. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dale Miller, and I also work with Aisha's campaign. I'm actually her stylist. And so once we leave here today, we're actually headed to Durham because we have 3 events going on in Durham today. The last one starting at 5, from 5 to 7, where we have a really, hopefully great fundraiser at that time. But I style, I'm happy to be here. It's my first time, and I will say this, that when I tried to get the full understanding of what this was, I gathered to myself that it's probably social media live, face-to-face, because you guys do a lot of amazing things, and you get the word out in person to everybody. So thanks for allowing me to be a part of this today.
Thank you so much for joining us. All right. So our guests today are members, well, not members, but candidates for the Board of County Commissioners. The forum will focus on districts 1, 2, 5, and 6, where voters have a choice. We have 3 Democrats are running for 3 at-large seats, and there are no contests in districts 3 and 4. Right now, this could be, this is an open forum, so other candidates could come in. We have Ms. Laura Meier Meier, Ms. Susan Rodriguez-McDowell, and Angela White, Ms. Angela White Edwards, not Edmund, excuse me, Edwards, will be with us for the moment. And again, this is an open forum so other candidates could join us. Yes, so some house rules. We always begin with a moment for silence. And that's a moment to silence your phone because, again, this is a forum, so don't be the one with the ringer on.
Correction, did you say we have 3 Democrats? Because Angela is running, correct, Angela.
Yes, I'm Republican.
Yes.
No, I said, because I read verbatim, 3 Democrats are running for 3 at-large seats, and there are no contestants running for 3 or 4, and I introduced the candidates without mentioning affiliation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. But I said I'm sorry. It's okay. Thank you.
Following the presentation, we will take questions from the audience. Please raise your hand, and we will add. And we will add your name to a list, and I will call on you on which, in the order in which your name was added to said list. Questions should be questions and no longer than 30 seconds. Also, questions should be directed to the individual. If you would like the entire group to respond, please mention that. We have a timekeeper, Ms. Natalie McElrath, who will signal when the limit, there we go. And we got Dr. Thomas, our house musician, who is Chief Minister of Morale. With that, you have a question, Ms. Or you want to, something to add?
No, I want to be in the round.
Oh, okay, you got your question already. Okay, questions already come. So with that said, let me stop talking. We will allow Ms. Natalie a minute for introductions.
3 minutes.
3 minutes for introductions. There you go. We will start with District 5, Ms. Laura Meier.
Is it already?
Slide to the right.
Green light.
Very easy.
Up close to your mouth because we can hear you fine in this room, but it's streaming.
Yes, we do have a live streaming audience. So, we need the mic so they can hear. We're fine in the room, but it's for our streaming audience.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Laura Meier. I am the County Commissioner serving District 5 currently. I'm running for my 3rd term, and so it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve District 5 and serve the whole county because I'm very well aware every time I cast my vote, I'm casting on behalf of the entire county. I stand for public education all the way. I am pro-public education to the day I die. Secondly, mental health and public health access. Mental health is a crisis right now in Mecklenburg County, in the nation. And I'm very pleased to say that the county has stepped up and we are catching up to where we need to be with our mental health services and public health care access. Third, green space, parks and recreation, greenways. Charlotte is growing by leaps and bounds. It's unprecedented. And the county tries to step in and preserve as much green space as we can. And I have been on the voting end where we are voting for land acquisition to try to balance Charlotte's growth. Mental health and green space, there's a direct correlation. Better green space, better mental health across the board, particularly for our youth. And I'm also an advocate for mental health resources in our schools because as of right now, it's really difficult to get mental health if you don't have insurance. But if the children have access to it, it will just be better for everyone. It's a stigma, and we need to drop the stigma for mental health. In my own district, in District 5, which goes from East Boulevard all the way to Highway 51, I've got 2 big high schools, Myers Park High School and South Meck High School, and suicide is a big problem among our teenagers, and we've got to address it head on. Those are my big things. And I'm very proud of the county and this board in particular. Susan Rodriguez-McDowell, when she came on in 2018, they started, across everything they do, they consider reducing racial disparities. Everything we do up now, we consider how we are reducing racial disparities with everything that goes into the budget. And I support that all the way. I've supported it since I came on in 2020. So I'm Laura Meier, County Commissioner, District 5. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Rodriguez-McDowell, and I am the County Commissioner incumbent for District 6. District 6 is the southernmost part of the county, everything that is south of Highway 51, Matthews, Mint Hill, Valentine, Pineville, and Lower Steel Creek, kind of all along the southern border of the county. And so I was elected in 2018. At that time, I flipped a seat that was held 22 years by Mr. Bill James at that time. And since that time, we have had a board of 9 Democrats. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's one of the biggest talking points that our opponents use against us. But I'm actually really proud of the work that we've been doing since 2018. Before 2018, the county felt that affordable housing wasn't even in our wheelhouse. Shouldn't be our concern. It should be left up to the city. We thought, you know, we need to look more upstream to the issues that the county is responsible for to try to prevent some of the difficult issues that are happening in the community, and that was one of them. I've been somebody on the board who has been a proponent for public education since day one, and you know, in my view, our schools are extremely under-resourced, and that is part of the why there have been issues in the past around, you know, performance. This is one of the things that the Republicans are really hawking about right now, is that we have low-performing schools and stuff like that. Y'all, we have to have a teacher, a qualified teacher in every classroom. That's the way to raise up our scores. But our scores are actually on the rise. So anyways, more in-depth discussion about that would be welcomed, as long as we had school board members here to really talk about digging into the issues. So I'm here for that, if anyone wants to do that at some point. Mental health has also been a focus. I think Laura Meier said it very well. It really is affecting our children. In fact, on October 23rd, I'm hosting a resource fair, a youth mental health resource fair in my district. It will be at Community House Middle School on October 23rd, 6 to 7 p.m. And we're going to have tables of resources. We're going to have a presentation from the county, but we're also going to be able to, agencies and nonprofits that are in that space, such as Pat's Place and others, Teen Health Connection. They will have tables there to speak to parents, to speak to students, to speak to whoever wants to come and learn about that. Because we had a presentation back in September. Does that mean it's the end, or does that mean? Okay, I'll wrap it. We had a presentation that showed the soaring. I mean, literally up. I mean, the trajectory was just going so high on youth suicides, and in the county, in Mecklenburg County. And so we wanted to respond to that, and so this resource fair is one way to do that. Thank you so much.
Okay, but you're a doctor, yeah. Gotcha.
Good morning. I greet you all in the name of Lord Savior Jesus Christ, my Savior. I'm Angela White Edwards. I'm running for County Commissioner of District 2. This is not my first time running, but it's my first time running as a Republican. And let's just go ahead and get this out the way about why I switched to Republican instead of Democrat. I'm sure that's on your minds. I am a Christian, born again, saved by grace. And I've been a Christian for a while, but I wasn't really stepping up to who I'm truly supposed to be. So I looked at the parties, and I looked at what is closer to where I am, and that was Republicans. So, but anyway, I'm free in my own skin to be who I am, and that's a good thing when you're free to be who you're supposed to be. I'm mother of 6. I have 4 grandchildren, and I'm raising 2 grandchildren. Matter of fact, I have an 18-year-old that's last year in Olympic High School. I've had him since he was 2.5 years old. And I was blessed to get another grandson with another one of my children about 3 years ago. He's now 5. So what I do is, I do like I used to do when I had my other 6. I go to school every day, I pick them up, I take them, I still have a part-time job. And so, and also I'm a Springfield community leader. So I'm busy. I first started out being in the community with when it was Medicare as a system of care. I was a pilot family at the time, and I joined to become a parent coach. We coach the professional people of how we look when you're getting services through mental health and social services, how we look at people and how we want people to look at us. So I became a coach in that. Also, I was the community collaborative in mental health. I was on that board with Judge Trosh and some great people. I've been vice president, former vice president of Reed Park Association. I've been former PTO president at Reed Park School. And so I'm really been an advocate for mental health as well. There's some mental health challenges in my family bloodline. So, but right now I am not a politician, nor do I want to be a politician. What I want to be, like I am, American citizen who is concerned about our lives. Especially, it is the whole family unit. It is so sad that how our families are going by the wayside, especially our children. You know, back in the day, we was taught how to act, how to respect. But we don't teach anymore. Time? Okay, we don't teach how the old people used to teach us how to behave, how to act, how to have respect, how to have morals. We don't have that anymore. I just want to bring that back. I really do. And it's all about now it is time for kingdom building business. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your presentation. So we want to start our questions with Mr. Combs, King Combs, Ms. Jackie Edwards-Walton. Where's Gary? Gary had a question. He's there if he comes back, and then Dr. Frazier.
Natalie had a
Okay, Ms. Natalie.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll take this one.
Already up now.
You can also go ahead and put me down for a second question. Of the 3 of you, Angela, you seem to be the most intriguing one.
Praise him.
No, I'm not.
I am.
Ask you.
Go ahead, sorry.
I find it somewhat ironic that you proclaim a profession of faith in a party that seems to go diabolically opposed to a lot of what your so-called faith may dictate. So my question to you is, how do you feel about Mark Robinson and Donald Trump, and are you in their camps?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Well, the truth of the matter is, I had a dream about Trump. I did. I had a dream about Trump, and since Kamala came upon the scene, you know, after Biden, I knew where I was going. But let me say this right here to you. There's nobody perfect. And you know in the Bible, God used murderers. He used a lot of people in the Bible to get his purpose and his things across the people to do what had to be done. So I am not exempt. I'm not perfect. But my faith tells me. That wasn't your question. You said I'm on the
Dr. Combs, excuse me, Mr. Combs, no back and forth. The answer you get is the answer you have to accept.
No, I want to answer that. I want to say something about that. You said, am I in the camps? Okay, when I vote, I'm going to vote whoever I want to vote for, but I am a Republican. Let's just put it that way.
All right, Ms. Edwards Walton.
Good morning. There was some discussion earlier about racial disparity in our county, and I'm very much concerned about that, but I'm also concerned about geographic disparity. And I'm speaking specifically about a regional park on the west side. We have the beautiful one on East Way. We have a lovely one in the northern end. And those of us who live on the west side, we're interested in what it will look like. I've heard that you're looking at Tuckasegee Park. And for me personally, that is not what I consider we deserve on the west side. And I know park and recreation. I'm a recreation therapist by degree and training. And also, I served on the commission under Meier and Susan before there was a merger with city and county. So I'd like to hear your responses.
Thank you for that question. I completely agree with you. We agree with you. The county does. The West Side does need a park. And I know that in the last budget season, we did approve capital improvement projects that include much of the West Side. I believe the West Side, District 2, Vilma Lakes District, I think they had probably the most projects. And if you're talking about a big park, big open space, I couldn't agree with you more. Greenways, access to greenways, and I think those projects are on the capital improvement project plan, and I'm happy to find that for you. I imagine you have probably already seen them, since you seem to know a lot about park and recreation. All I can say is I agree with you, and I know that there are plans, and I know that District 2 is very park poor, but there are plans to bring that back to, up to a level where it should be. I personally in District 5 have 2 parks, Freedom Park and Parkwood Park, and I'm not sure what the big parks are in District 6, but District 2 is park poor. And all I can say, as much as I agree with you, the plans are in the capital improvement project. I could be wrong.
I'm speaking of regional. I'm not talking about current parks. Regional.
You're not talking about, I'm sorry?
I'm talking about the large regional park, like East Way.
Like the new rec centers that you build over there in the new park. Like
And
East
in Huntersville.
Huntersville.
I really appreciate this question, y'all, because I'm not really aware of that level of detail about the parks in Commissioner Leake's district, to be honest. Commissioner Leake, has to advocate for her district, but we all know on our board that we are supporting the West Side. We are supporting equity. We have been investing in equity for our parks. I just can't speak to the large, I don't know that level of detail. I just can't remember all of the projects. So we would love to get back to you guys on that because, like I said, it's just not something I can retain all of the projects. So, but perhaps Ms. Edwards would like to speak to it as well. I'm not sure if you wanted all of us to respond, but we would love to get back to you.
You know what? Regional environmental is very important for us. I believe that it would lack depression. It would decrease depression. Any beautiful areas, especially in District 2, especially in my community, we got a park. I know you weren't talking about a particular park, but I just want to throw Springfield out there. They are an old neighborhood. And to win the playbooks for 2029 for a $6 million project to redo our park, to open it up and have it open up from Tavola in so that the people from the apartments on Tavola can enjoy the park too. I just truly believe that beautification is a plus for us to feel more better about ourselves. Thank you.
Gary?
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity for the question. Ms. White Edwards, with you running for District 2 and running to replace an incumbent, what are you looking to do differently over in that district, and what are some of your plans for over there that will be that will make that area drastically different?
Number one, I know that one person can't do everything. I'm just reminded of Moses when he had all these people to lead into the promised land. I wanted to divide District 4 into 4 different pieces, 4 different parts, where I have 4 people that really is in tune to their areas of the communities. And although I want to be hands-on in the communities, being on this, in Nation 4 Road in a poverty area, I can relate to a lot of people that feels like they are left behind. We're battling now the areas where that abandoned buildings, drugs, gangs, all that stuff is just keeping us depressed, especially us older people like myself. Some of them afraid to call the police because they don't want their house shot up. But what I want to do is I want to bring the family back to a whole. I want to also to go deep into mental healthness and see what effectiveness can we get, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the mental health agencies that's not being successful, especially with the DOJ. There's not enough people being locked up. And so people just running rapid around here doing whatever they want to. And that also shows the disrespect for the police officers. A lot of people know they're not gonna get locked up. So, and also just want to, and hope we gotta bring it in. We don't get too radical, too wild. And we have to bring life back in where everybody can be respected and treated with love and dignity that they deserve, especially our children. Our children is looking at and mimicking what they see and hear. We got to bring it in. Did I answer your question?
No, ma'am, but it's okay.
You said what I wanted to do. You
No back and forth. No back and forth.
Wait a minute, you talking about political. I said at the beginning, I'm not a politician. Why I'm running?
Well, listen. Hold on, we got to bring it back in. So, look.
No, that's good. That's good.
No. They'll come back with more questions, but
Okay.
right again.
Okay.
Dr. Frazier.
Okay, so education is very important to me, and regardless to board members being here, you should know something about what you're voting for, right? So my question is, what are the key educational challenges currently facing your districts, and how do you plan to address them in the next academic year?
The key thing that we need are teachers. And y'all, you can't learn if you don't have teachers. Now, when you talk about our districts, you say, what is the key issue in your district? In my district, it's been overcrowding in schools. And that, like, people in District 6, they love their schools. They will have their children sit on the floor to eat lunch in their schools because they're so overcrowded, because they're so good. They're good schools. But we don't have enough teachers for the district. And I just can't say enough that, well, first of all, the $2.5 billion bond that was passed in 2023 by 63% of the voters. I want to thank those of you who are here who voted for that. I know you guys really brought the questions when they came here to talk to you all. I watched that meeting, and you guys really were pushing for the minority contractors and stuff like that. That made it better, right? But when you talk, we tend to try to make decisions based on the whole county. So my district, doesn't have as many low-performing schools as other districts. So that's why I'm trying to say, in my district, if you ask me the question about my district, it's different, my answer, than for the entire the entire system. And so, you know, what we need more than anything is teachers. We need teachers, we need assistants, we need social workers, and you can't have those without resources. And so you have to pay them or they won't come. Even South Carolina pays more. I think we're number 41, guys, in teacher pay. We fluctuate, but we're down. And so, you know, even when South Carolina is paying more for teachers, like, they just go across the border. So, in my view, it's very important. We're struggling against a General Assembly that refuses, that's sending $463 million, our tax dollars, to private schools. To me, this is the number one issue for schools. We have to get back the funding from the state, because we can't, you know, guess where it comes from, right? Because we all prioritize education. You know, $500 million of our budget every year goes to schools. And that's because the General Assembly is not pulling their weight.
I hate to be redundant, but in my district, it's teachers, number one, they're leaving. And number two, our buildings are old and need to be replaced. And that goes to the school bonds that passed. That's going to be helped. Our schools are going to be better soon, the actual physical buildings, but that doesn't address teacher pay. And so, I don't want to be redundant, but in my district, it is teacher pay. I also have good schools in my district. And so, as commissioners that represent one district, but our vote is for the entire board, we have to think about the other districts, particularly District 2, 3, and 2, particularly Districts 2 and 3. And 4, sorry, 2, 3, and 4. And so when I vote thinking in that. And when I say we need to increase public education money, I'm thinking of 2, 3, and 4, because those schools, they are failing. Some of them are failing, and we have to admit that, and we have to say, okay, what are we going to do about that? And that's when we work with the school board, and that's when we push the school board, and we advocate for education money, because that's what we do. We can't tell the schools what to do. We can't tell public education. We can't tell the superintendent what to do, but we can spend money, and that's where we come in. Again, my district doesn't need more resources. We need better teachers. We need the money for the teachers, yes. But we know how important it is to what you asked about before, Jackie, cutting racial disparities. That's the problem here in 2, 3, and 4. And I know you can't throw money at every problem, but it doesn't hurt. You got to have the resources to get those schools to where they need to be, because we've got to pay our teachers. We have to pay our teachers. The person in front of the room is extremely important. The most important person next to the children. We've got to pay the teachers better so they'll stay. In Myers Park High School, we're missing science teachers and math teachers. What are kids going to do? What are they supposed to do? Kids are learning from an empty classroom and with no teacher online from a teacher next door. And that's what they're having to deal with in all the schools. This is not how we teach our kids. And the crisis is lack of teachers. And we can supplement in Mecklenburg County. Oh, I need to go. We can give a higher supplement. Not all school districts can do that. So anyway, elections matter. Look at who you're voting for in the General Assembly. Thank you.
All right, Ms. McDowell. Oh.
What I see, I'm not a politician again. What I see, because I got grandkids in schools, what I see that the teachers, some of the teachers are young, but they're not experienced enough, especially when you're dealing with kids with IEPs, with the 504 plans. They're not able to accommodate those kids. That's what I see. That's the biggest thing. Also, I see that a lot of kids have problems at home. A long time ago, teachers used to go home and talk to the parents, whatever, to know who what the family's dealing with. A lot of time they silently come to school with different behavior issues that reflects on their ability to learn. So it's a lot of things, and what they were saying was also true. But I'm looking at the standpoint as a grandparent, as a parent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. McElrath.
Thank you for being here. My question is about the tree canopy. And I've been asking this question for a long time, and I haven't really gotten a satisfactory answer. And I'm hoping things are getting better and you'll have some idea of what they're doing. There is, I understand, a law that says they cannot come in and just clear the grounds. They've got to leave some trees standing. No one is doing that. And no one is enforcing that rule. Why?
Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing up this topic. What I believe you're speaking to is development, and that does not fall under the county. That's a city, city ordinance. But the county, what we're doing is we're trying to purchase land to preserve tree canopy, to increase our parks, our greenways, but also for tree canopy. And so we have ramped up the spending from our fund balance, meaning it's one-time use funds. Anyway, don't need to get that technical, but we're directing those funds to purchase land so that we can protect it. Okay, and so when you say, why don't we follow those laws? That doesn't fall under our purview, but it is a city thing, and I really can't speak to the actual law or ordinance, but I can tell you what we're doing at the county level. Does that make sense? It may not be very satisfying to you, but we can't really speak to their kind of ordinances because it's not our thing, but we can tell you what we're doing, and that is trying to preserve as much land as possible, because they don't get more land, right? It's running out, and so but we're being strategic in where, trying to protect lands in certain areas. And for one thing, Commissioner Meier and I were on the wrong side of a vote recently where we were voting no, where, right next to the Catawba River, the River District area, they're going to be wiping out a whole section of trees to put a road in to connect two other roads. And y'all, it's a terrible idea, but it's the cheapest and most expedient way to get this development going. And that's part of the problem. When you can see that there are bad things that we can prevent from happening, but we don't have the votes to do it, that, in my view, is part of, when you can't stop bad things from happening, it's so frustrating, because it's just really hard. But, so we were on the wrong side. We went out there, we hiked it, we went down, looked at the river, looked at how it was connecting, looked at, all these endangered species are there and stuff, and we came back and we were like, y'all, we can't vote for this. But we were on the wrong side. We were on the losing side of that vote. So thank you for the question. I'm sorry if it wasn't very satisfying of an answer.
The only thing I can answer to that, because everything she said is right, is what I know about the city 2040 plan is that if you take a tree, you have to replace a tree. And I think it's being enforced now because that just passed. It's just taken effect. And I'm not defending anyone or anything or any ordinance or whatever, but I do know that it's just now taken effect on the city side.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm next. First of all, I would like to thank you, Ms. Meier, for what you said about teachers. As a teacher, I do appreciate you, both of you. And I don't really have any issues with either one of you. I think you're both doing a great job. But my issue is with District 2. and I know we don't have the incumbent here, but I think we do have competition here, and I think it's really important that you give us some information about what you would do to change District 2, what plans you would have for District 2, and that's one thing. And the second thing is, because you are a Christian and you said that, how can you support Donald Trump and Robinson running for governor? I'd like to know how you can rationalize that. They have both proven that they're not Christian, okay? So how can you rationalize that as the top of your ticket? Excuse me. How can I rationalize that? I want to say this. I got to say this. I have been beaten up since I've been here because I'm a Republican. No. And also, let me say this. And also because I'm not talking the way that you want me to talk, then that means I'm not qualified. But let me tell you something. Who God has, he's chosen, he will also qualify them as well. You haven't even seen me in office. Nobody has seen me in office. Nobody has seen the successes I can do. But you're ready to judge me. That's why I don't get it. And let's go a step further. I'm still black. I haven't changed colors since I went to Republican. I'm still black. And I'm for our black people. God knows I am. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And you know what? Because of people who step on other people, and it's not more white folks doing that. It's our own color who's trying to keep us bound. I'm talking to anybody who want to listen. I'm just being honest. What I want to do is this here in District 2. I want people to know that there are better people who think we are below or we're not capable of having the best. I want people to live out their dreams. I want them to become who they're supposed to be. But let me tell you something, being a leader, you got to have the spirit of a leader. And you got to work with integrity, you got to walk with integrity, and you got to love what you're doing. You got to love other people. You can't be hollering at people and calling people names and all of that. That's not working. We have had too much of that in District 2. That's why we don't have any power. We have given up our power, and we have nothing in return. So I realize, I've been to one of these forums before, but I've never been brutally attacked the way I am today. But it's all good. It lets me know what I'm dealing with.
Dr. Penn.
Testing. Amen. All right. So I'm like Jackie as a former Park and Rec Commissioner, first black chairperson of Parks and Recs at one point. And also, I can remember when I did the study in 2018 on Parks and Recs, and then they came up and paid a lot of money for the Make Playbook, which I dissected it, and a lot of things was going wrong in that area. So I'm hearing a lot of different things that people are saying, because you're talking about parks are poor. Yes, they are. Greenways are the same, because we don't have a greenway in our area. So my question to you is that I'm like Jackie, we don't want things thrown, but now let me say this, because you say you're not in that district, and I understand, but it takes 5 or 6 votes, whatever it takes. So my question is, because it takes those votes, and you have to read these things so you'll know how to vote. So my question is that because we're looking into that particular area about that park, and I'm sure you got some land somewhere, so that way we could, if we're gonna do a regional thing, how can we make sure that we're getting the things that we need? Because that vote is gonna come up, so you gotta be able to vote, so you gotta be able to read and write and understand and dissect it. So how are you going to be able to show us that you're going to vote in the right way, instead of just voting for the person that's in that district too? Hopefully y'all got that.
Thank you, Dr. Penn. So what comes to my mind, first of all, is that usually, in the case of Park and Rec, you have nearly unanimous votes. We're not opposing any improvements to parks. Like, we all are in agreement on that. And the cross-cutting improvements towards those that have been under-resourced in the past, we've all voted for that. And so, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's unanimous. So, you know, we have so many, I don't know if everyone can appreciate the amount of responsibilities that commissioners have. I don't know if you can appreciate the amount of homework that we do, the reading, the research, preparing for meetings. Our meetings are long and detailed, and so I will read those things as they are present to me, as they are coming up. But then sometimes it goes boop, right out the back door on the details because we know the big, I know the big themes. I know what I believe in. I know that equity is extremely important. I know that we prioritize equity over new investments. You know, repairing the older things before creating new things, that we've been prioritizing that. So I can't remember the details, I'm just being honest with you, because I literally have so much pressing for the next meeting that I'm preparing for. And so I can't remember all of the investments of the past, but I do know that our capital improvement projects, we have been pushing for those to be equitable, and we've been prioritizing those that have fallen behind. So, but as far as regional parks and which ones and all that, I honestly can't remember.
I don't know what else to say except we do all, it is unanimous almost always. I always will support parks, particularly in park poor areas like District 2. When I wanted dredging in my 2 parks, because the blue-green algae in the 2 ponds, Parkwood Park and Freedom Park, I had to push. I was a mosquito flying around Park and Rec director's ears. I was always in his ear about, we need to dredge. And that's what it takes. It takes someone to advocate. I advocate for my district. That's what commissioners do. We advocate for our districts. I'm not going to speak ill of anyone, but I know that I advocate for my schools and my parks, and I know Commissioner Rodriguez does, and so on down the line. That's what it takes. It takes someone to push. Now, I know that this board supports Park and Rec, probably more than any other board before 2018. We're playing catch up, and we're playing catch up. We're getting much better. We're rated better, and that's a really good thing. And we need to be even better than that. So I can assure you that you have this Board of County Commissioners on your side when it comes to green space and recreation centers and greenways. And you're right. And I'm not sure what area of town you're talking about. No greenways. Is it here where we're sitting now? Or are you talking about District 2?
I can't go back.
And again, I don't know all the capital improvement project plans, but I do know that District 2 has the most of anyone. Thank you.
There's a greenway that goes through, there's Irwin Avenue, on through Leslie.
Can I answer that as well? This county turned us down. I went before them twice about our park. And it was in the playbook. But someone called me, one of the commissioners called me on the Sunday and gave me the direction to go to get some progress done. So I had to go before the Park and Rec Commission myself and speak to them on behalf of our community. We couldn't even get 5 votes for our, so I'm listening to what them saying, but that's not true.
Ms. Ivory,
Can we respond to her?
No, we don't respond.
Okay.
I know.
That ain't true.
We gotta.
No fact check.
Yeah, we have a forum that we have to abide by the forum rules. But again, if you get the question again, Ms. Ivory Canty.
Thank you. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do. No one asked me, but I think that the most important thing when it comes to education is student success. And that only comes with quality, well-paid teachers. So thanks for advocating for them. Also, thank you for what you do with the Housing Impact Fund. I'm always calling and asking for your support. Mark Etheridge has been here before. It's an excellent project. I do want to say to Ms. Angela, who I have known for some time, she does a fantastic job when it comes to working with the schools. I think, Ms. Angela, you need to understand that we're asking because there is an incumbent, and she, to me, is doing a superb job. And we just want to know what you would do differently or what you would do to enhance. So it's nothing personal. I just want to say that. My question is, there's a health center. We have the Ella Scarborough and Valerie Woodard. I understand that you're contemplating, but it's like really low on the list. I would like for you to consider moving it up. And let me go back and say thank you for not only advocating for your district, but for all districts. But with the health center, they're contemplating, that's the one, that health clinic on Batesford Road, the one across from old McDonald's, changing that into something like the Ella Scarborough or the Valerie Woodard. It is so needed because those two really provide a lot of resources for individuals. That is in close proximity to a lot of people in need, and it's on the bus line. I want to ask you to please look at that and consider moving that up, because I would love to see it come to fruition as soon as possible and not later. That is needed in our area. Thank you.
Can I answer that? Thank you, Ms. Ivory. We couldn't agree more. I think if you've not been to the Ella Scarborough Center, it is phenomenal. And it is providing so many needed resources in the community. And it's taken a while to get the information out there, but I think it's starting to catch on. So thank you for highlighting that. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. We've got 4 planned. I don't know the health center you are referring to, but I will look into it, and I'm happy to talk to look at the capital improvement. Do you know where it is on the list?
I think it's like 5.
Okay.
But it needs, don't y'all think it needs to be moved up? It's the one that is needed. I mean, we're always last to start.
It's been like the ran around since I was a Jew.
If the plan is there, I don't know if that's one of the regional centers that is on the capital improvement project plan. I don't know the details either, but I'm happy to look. I absolutely will, and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
We need to put things in perspective. We do not debate in here, so we're not going to do this. We don't do this. So once a question is asked and the question is answered, we're not going back and forth. We're not going to do that. We don't do this. We haven't done that for quite a while. So let's not do that today, please.
Well, this is my turn now. All right, I have a question. So my question is actually to the incumbents. When I'm not facilitating Tuesday Morning Forum, my day job is the executive director of Applesauce Group, where we ignite amazing festivals on the west side of Charlotte, and we use art and culture to disarm our audience so they will engage with our vendor village of nonprofit organizations and resources that are already available. And one thing I have found is that you don't know what you don't know when it comes to our audience. And while we use the political season to discuss the things that we don't have, I know the county offers a myriad of amazing resources that often go under-engaged. And as I look at the Instagram page of the county right now, it is 977 posts throughout the 10-year history of that social media page. And I wanted to know, why not introduce or showcase what you have in a programmatic response on your social media channels to kind of meet community where it is, and showcase all of the ways that they can engage their county from these things that already are in existence.
I agree. That department would be Department of Public Information, and we have nothing to do with the actual county social media. We can talk to them and suggest what you're suggesting, which I agree with you. We should have a way more robust communication with the public on our services we provide. So I couldn't agree with you more. I personally try to put out information as much as I possibly can. For example, I'm hitting hard with the rumors about FEMA right now, about Western North Carolina, and that we just got designated a disaster area right here in Mecklenburg County, and how to apply for FEMA. I don't know if the county is doing that, but I know I am, and I know some of my colleagues are. So I will take that information that you just provided, and I will let public information know.
I just want to say thank you for the question. And when you said 900 and something for the last 10 years, it would be really cool to see if it's ramped up in recent years, because, you know, it's probably not, you know, over the 10 years been a consistent level. It's probably shot up, is my guess, because we really have directed public information to engage more, and we've hired more people, and we have social media people, and I think our website isn't very user friendly. But I do think they're doing more in social media. I feel like I've seen more things that they're posting, but I'm not. I will definitely look into seeing if we're ramping that up. But I do know that we have directed that we haven't felt that our message was getting out. And then with our ARPA funds, we had used some to advertise what we are doing in the county. And I just wanted to add that I really appreciate what you're doing, and I learned so much about it when we were at the event recently where you were honored, and I thought it was tremendous, the work that you're doing, so thank you for that.
All right, now we have Ms.
The county manager has announced her retirement, so you in the future will have to choose a new one. Can you tell us what you will be looking for in terms of that person's past experience, and what qualities do you want in the new county manager that you choose?
Thank you for the question. At this time, we have an excellent county manager. Dina Diorio has done a fantastic job. But I do believe that there are other styles that people could have and still do an excellent job. I think finance was her strong suit, is her strong suit. She came in through the finance department, and that's how she became county manager. So her focus has been very much on finance. And I think that's one reason why the county is in such a healthy financial state right now, very healthy. And so as far as the next county manager, some of the things that I'm looking for is a culture in the county of a little bit more, let's see, how do you work? I'm thinking of this on the fly. I haven't articulated this very much publicly before, but I'm looking for transparency and inclusivity, and I would really like more of a focus on health and human services as opposed to the finances. Like, I think we need to have both. We need to have a very strong finance department, but I would really like to see a county that is more driven as a health and human services agency. And so having that as a big emphasis would be important to me. Also, someone who really understands the challenges of the environment, like climate change, like environmental stewardship. We really have to, especially, I mean, look at this week, right? Look at the hurricane, look at the damages. We really have to be focused on the future. And so I'll be looking for someone who has that as part of their how they're made up, how they're wired. So those are just a couple of things I would say.
It's a great question, great answer. And I would just add that I will be looking for someone who I can have a relationship, and that a respectful relationship, go back and forth. Not that I don't have one with Dina now, I do. I hope to have a relationship with the next county manager who will listen to me, and I can approach him or her. And I think that's really important to have that relationship. Also, the culture within the county, with the county staff, the same thing. I'd like to see a manager who will listen to staff, and who staff would not be afraid of telling the truth and how they really feel. I think that's extremely important as we move forward. And I'm very proud and happy the way the county is moving forward. I want to see us continue to project that way. And so really, I do really respect Dina Diorio. Now that we are looking for someone new, someone who will listen to me and my colleagues.
We need to make the announcement at this time that we're running short on time, and we need to keep the questions short and the answers under 1 minute.
Can I answer that? I think anytime you add a new person to anything you do, it needs to be a person that will enhance, go to the next level of what you're trying to accomplish, to make it be collaboration with everybody involved, that it will fit together, and the city, the county, the country, or whatever, can see the difference and know that we need a change.
All right, Mr. Combs, again, 30 seconds for questions, 1 minute for responses.
First of all, I'm an unapologetic career journalist, or as we are called, the fourth estate, and asking hard questions comes with the territory, and I am not responsible for the ineptness, thin skin, or inability to navigate the system. My question is for all three of you, and that is, this political football has gone down the road for decades, and that is about teacher pay. And it seems to me that the state refuses to fund adequately, is what the claim is. However, the state has given you what we call a local supplement, and the ability to use your supplemental abilities to fund some teacher pays. But no county commission has ever stepped forward and says that we're going to enact a 1/2 cent tax increase or any tax increase to accommodate what you claim as a supporter of public education. You may be a verbal supporter, but not by your actions and deed, because you still steadfastly refuse to implement whatever tax rate is necessary to increase teacher pay. Response.
Well, I'm going to be honest, and I did not know we could enact that for teacher pay. I've learned something new right now. As you know, raising taxes is a very controversial subject. We are about to raise taxes, we're being asked to raise taxes 1 cent for transportation, or 1.5 cents for transportation. It'll be on the ballot in 2025. It is very controversial. Our property taxes have gone up considerably because the market rate has gone up considerably. Your reval was so much more than it has been in the past. So to add another 1/2 cent, I would do it. I would die on that hill and be fine with it, because that's how much I support teacher pay, increasing teacher pay. I would do that. if that was presented to us.
My understanding is that the state does have a supplement, but there are 4 counties that are not included in that, and Mecklenburg is one of them. So I believe it's Wake, Mecklenburg, maybe Buncombe, is it Forsyth or Guilford? So I don't know all of the counties, but I know there are 4 that are excluded. So we do not have the benefit of that. That would be awesome if we were included in that, but we are not. So we are fully funding that on the back of y'all's tax dollars at the county level.
Please.
If there was, with the tax, that the teachers can get more money, I would still want to, according to their performance, according to them raising the children's bar up to have learned more than what they learned. In other words, I just don't believe in giving people something for nothing.
Okay.
All right, we have Dr. Frazier.
Okay, what role do you see the county commission playing in supporting public education and workforce development for our youth? Development initiatives, are there any specific programs or partnerships you would advocate for?
Sorry, I'm trying to remember the beginning part of your question.
So basically,
what are we doing for
workforce development?
Workforce development.
For you.
The one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that I am the chair of economic development for the county commission. So I'm really proud of the work we've been doing there. I'll just say that real quick. But we do, I know that, I don't know the programs very deeply that that CMS is currently doing, but I do know that CRT, they have really been partnering, and I don't know the names of all the programs, but we've been to CPCC, we've been doing a lot of things where we're partnering to do training for multiple different avenues, paths, like whether it's nurses or whether it's, I can't even remember all of the programs, but I do know that we have been in that space with CMS, with CPCC, trying to fund early paths, early college, there's early colleges, career readiness, yeah. So we have been in that space, but I can't remember all the program names. So we're extremely supportive of that. We're extremely supportive of having different pathways. Everyone doesn't have to go the college route, and making sure that kids have different choices at their level in high school.
I would agree. We don't actually have the programs. We partner with different programs, including Charlotte Works, who also is a partner with CPCC. CPCC is such an incredible resource in this community, and they really are leading the way on workforce development. And we were very well aware, I know I'm well aware, that college is not for every child, including my 2 sons who have chosen not to go that route, killing me, by the way. But that's their route, and they're finding their way, and I 100% support workforce development because that is the way for many of our kids.
Is that what you got?
I saw something on Facebook. It was something, I think it was the JRTC, whatever, I think it was about the partnership with Bank of America when they had 1,500 kids that they're going to be training for various jobs. I saw that, but I think that since you can tell that this is not a roundabout, a wide variety of stuff, I think that we have to be developed more and more, so there will be more various places that the children can go. But that's very important. The more they're working, the less trouble they can get in. And also will be another thing is, I think in high school, if they would teach them or start them out with learning how to be business owners, give them the spirit of wanting to become the entrepreneur and business-like.
All right, y'all, this is the round robin. Ms. Edwards-Walton, we don't have a lot of time.
I won't take a lot of time. That Bank of America program is year up. My comment and question has to do with We appreciate what you did with L.C. Coleman. And they put out a video. That video did not have one person of color in it, and they did not have anyone in the production of it. And we were talking about equity. So can you talk to that or check on that also?
Can I ask a question or no?
Yeah. You can get clarification.
Clarification. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know the video. I don't know L.C. Coleman.
It's a park. It's a park and it's going to be renovated.
Which district?
2.
Okay, so they can't answer.
Okay.
I'll find out though. I will find out.
Ms. Angela, do you know District 2?
LC? I don't even, if she give me the area, maybe I can zoom into it.
She doesn't know.
So is it safe to say that we will find a way to get back at it was Walton? All right, thank you. Now we have Faith.
Thank you.
Good morning. My thing is housing, as you all know, affordable housing, affordable home ownership, anti-displacement. This question is for each of you. Looking at the next 10 to 15 years in the future, and particularly with homelessness going to be a major issue with seniors. And the next, it's bad now, but the next 5 to 7, 10 years, it's going to be an epidemic. And the country doesn't know how to deal with it. But just with each of your experience, what is the major issue from a county perspective that we need to be paying attention to that is not on our radar today? Next 10, 15 years.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Charlotte has, as we know, has so many people here. And we didn't even try to start building more houses and more people according to them coming in. I really believe that when COVID hit is when people started seeing a really epidemic, but it was so many people already here. My concern is, where is all these people gonna go? Because we're gonna eventually run out of land if we keep getting people here. But what is happening, the sad thing about it is, especially the people who've been in Charlotte all their lives, they are forced to move to smaller cities and other places because they cannot afford to stay here. And so, and you're also finding out now that more people have to become like, a lot of people living in one house again. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do something. We got to, but we can't have our seniors outdoors.
Thank you for the question, and thank you for your work. What I see in the future is the government can't save us all. The government doesn't have the money to save us when it comes to the housing crisis, but we can partner. And we're looking at corporations that are making billions of dollars, and we need to partner. It needs to be more of a public-private partnership, not just here in Mecklenburg County, but across the board. We've got to tap into that money. There's a lot of money out there. And granted, we may not build ourselves out of this housing crisis, but we can certainly put a dent in it. We have to partner with our giant corporations who are reaping in the money right now, that they can give up a little to help subsidize what's out there now and what can be.
I would just add from a county perspective that we need to be looking at ways to build. Yes, we do need to build more because one of the things that you have to have is foresight. Look into, just like you just said, this 10 to 15 years out, looking ahead. It takes leadership to go out on a limb and say, we're going to invest in this area. But I think what we could do is to try to help grease the wheels a little bit on getting builders to build. It hasn't been profitable for them, and that's why they haven't been doing it. And I think what maybe the county could do is look at some sort of tax, incentives that help get builders building again. But what I would like to see us focus on is builders who are building not at the luxury level, because that's where builders feel that the only place they can make money is to build luxury units. And if it's not luxury units, then they're not making money. So I feel like we have to solve that, and I'm not sure if that's really what the county can do. We can play a little role maybe in some tax incentives, but I think it will be more of a federal and state focus that's going to have to be placed on this, because this is a national issue, not just here in Charlotte. But I do also want to add my thanks to you for the work that you do. I think more partnering with Habitat for Humanity and organizations like that who are helping to preserve affordable housing, helping to preserve homes that people are living in and growing older in, for them to be able to stay in their homes.
All right, we have Dr. Penn, Ms. Carlinia Ivory, then Gary Young.
Real quickly, after working with United Way on applications and reading them and everything, my question to you is that, and then Ms. Ivory always talk about this, about grassroots organization, and you mentioned that you just heard about my friend up there, his organization. So how do y'all really look at the things that people come want funding from you, other than choosing the same people? That's what I'm seeing, that a lot of the same ones always getting a lot of funding. Now, some of them write better than the others, but what is a way that y'all do it so that way it can help some of the other grassroots organizations?
Well, first of all, what I wanted to say earlier to you is thank you for your service on the Park and Rec Board. I think, you know better than we do, even at a more intimate level on our parks. So thank you for that. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. What?
Applications, who gets what?
I wanted to talk about, I feel extremely proud of how the county used our ARPA dollars to push that money down to grassroots organizations. We've never funded more grassroots organizations in history, literally. So the question that you're asking, I kind of disagree with the premise. Also, the community service grants. We have community service grants that are yearly, and folks write in, and we do presentations. Our staff does presentations to teach people how to apply for community service grants. And they're always, they go through hundreds of applications and bring to us the ones that rise to the top. So in my view, I think that's an old story about the same people always getting money. I think with the county commission that you have now, you're seeing us relying on different organizations that are closer to the grassroots.
I don't have anything to add. I agree.
I really don't have anything to add, but I can say this. If I was on there, I will ask them, can we please have some new people who is trying to do some stuff that they need to do?
Thank you, Ms. Ivory Candy.
Thank you. I think this gentleman here asked about the new county manager, and I know that you're doing a search. I would like to know, once you get so many candidates together, are you going to have input from the community? There's been other opportunities for the community to come together, listen to these candidates, and then make recommendation. And I just want to know if that's something you would consider doing.
I think personally, yes, we would consider having a public forum or public information session. I don't think that's the process, though. The process is we're hiring a headhunter, basically search firm, which we are going through tonight in our meeting starting at 2:30, and then they find applicants, and then when they weed out the applicants, then the applicants come to us. And all 9 of us will be interviewing the applicants. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the process does not include a public information or public forum.
I think the issue is that when folks at that level are interviewing for a job with Mecklenburg County, that will reveal to wherever they are currently employed that they're looking. And so I think instead we will probably have public engagement around what do you guys want us to look for in a candidate? What are your thoughts on how we can do this? Who are you looking for? And then those folks probably will not go in front of the public, but we will have y'all's input in mind as we interview them.
All right, Mr. Young, close us out.
All right, you keep speaking on more teacher pay, which I get. What are you directly doing to enhance student success? As somebody deeply involved at the schools, political, and the business community, what are you doing to touch? Because these kids, this morning teacher pay to breed success in some of these students in some of these schools. So what are you directly doing on that account?
Well, you know we cannot directly affect Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. That's not our job. I understand. And so what we can do is advocate, and I hate to keep harping on this, but more money for programs, for workforce development, for teacher pay. That's what we can do at the county level. There's nothing else I can really say. I wish, believe me, I wish that I could jump in and direct on CMS. I can advocate, yes, I can definitely advocate. And I do, I can be a voice, but I physically can't do anything and tell CMS to do what I think they should do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we have to know what our jobs are, and that's not our job.
That's not my question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My question, what are you doing with your own time?
With my own time. Oh, okay. I've raised 3 kids who have all been in through CMS, and myself, I graduated from CMS myself. I'm not currently like tutoring kids or doing anything like that. I literally have my hands full with this as a full-time job. Being a county commissioner for me is a full-time job. I don't know how you could have another job and do this job at the level that I'm doing it. And the level that I'm doing it takes everything I've got. So vote for me if you want someone who's putting their all into this job. Thank you.
All right, quick 30-second closing statement.
I'm Laura Meier, County Commissioner, District 5. This has been an honor to be here, and I just want to compliment all of you because you're asking county questions. You're asking about issues that pertain to the county, and you have no idea how many times we get questions about roads and neighborhoods and things like that. So this has just been wonderful. I like to be asked hard questions, and I appreciate what I don't know. And I found out I don't know a few things, and I'm going to find out and get back to you, I promise you, because that's what we do as county commissioners. It's been an honor to serve my district. It's been an honor to serve this county, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Well, everything that she just said, I couldn't say any better. So I'm Susan Rodriguez-McDowell. I've been serving you since 2018. I hope that you all have noticed that we are advocating for you, that there is a difference in county government because of our service, and we hope that you guys will support us going forward, working for you, and keep bringing your input to us, because we are listening. Thank you very much.
Angela White Edwards, County Commissioner, District 2. I'm speaking for the people who was wanting change and wanting freshness in District 2 in Mecklenburg County. Whether or not I win or lose, or however, I'm still an advocate in the community. I'm still leading in Springfield community. So I really appreciate everything. This really has been a blessing for me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Round of applause. If you have announcements, please send them to Steve S. Johnston at TuesdayForumCharlotte.org. Thank you so much. The next 4 Tuesdays will be dedicated to the election. So next week we will have more people to vote for. Thank you for coming out. Yeah. What did you say? State Senate. State Senate is next week. So we hope to see you and have your questions ready for the room. See you next week. Dr. Thomas Blair.